Hey everyone, welcome back. If you enjoy real stories about relationships, trust, and those unexpected moments that change everything, you're in the right place. Today's post is one of those stories that starts small, but quickly unravels into something much bigger. And if anything in this video hits home, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I always like hearing what you think. Let's get into it. I, 28-year-old female, found a woman's sock in my house after being away for a week, and my boyfriend, 30-year-old male, lied to me about it. I was away for a week for work. He was off nearly the entire time since he works 1 week on, 1 week off. When I came home, my boyfriend had cleaned the house quite extensively. Obviously not a crime, but it was surprising and a little out of character. I usually have to do most of the cleaning, so it was unexpected. He'd even picked up some of my laundry that I'd left in the washroom and living room and put it in the basket. I was surprised, but didn't think much of it. He started night shifts the day after I returned, and I was working days, so I came home after he'd already left. I figured I'd spend some time cleaning the house too, as he had. There's a shop vac that had been sitting just outside our bedroom door for a few weeks that I finally moved to the closet. When I moved it, I found a sock just behind it. A small ankle sock, clearly a women's sock, in a brand I'd never seen before. I had a bad feeling, but I just put the sock on a table by my bedside and continued cleaning, planning to ask him about it when he got home early in the morning. When I asked him whose sock it was, he said he didn't know. Then he said he found it on the stairs and thought it was mine, so he put it there. But I put the sock there. I doubt he'd even seen it around the house, or else it wouldn't have been behind the shop vac. And if he had thought it was mine, wouldn't he have put it in the basket with my other clothes that he'd already put away? I told him that I put the sock there and asked why he lied. He said he didn't have anyone over and didn't know whose sock it was. I left and got ready for work, and he went to sleep. OP posted an update later that day. He woke up. I'm sitting in my office area doing some work, but also periodically crying and reading the comments here. He came into the room and tried cuddling me from behind my chair. I was obviously stiff, and he asked why I was mad. I said I didn't understand why he wasn't honest earlier about the sock. He said he didn't lie. I said I put the sock on the table so he couldn't have. He said he meant he'd found it while cleaning and had tossed it aside, where it landed and got forgotten behind the shop vac. Then he got super mad, saying I'm always accusing him of cheating, swearing, saying he's not coming on our trip to my parents' house this summer. He said that he's staying at the house all summer, and that my friend, who was supposed to rent the house for work, can't stay there because he'll be there. I asked why he was getting so mad. I said I was upset and just needed an explanation and reassurance. He kept losing it, stormed toward the door and threw his cup of coffee down the stairs, grabbed an old baseball bat we keep by the stairs and started hitting the step outside the door, yelling that he's not effing cheating. Then he threw his packed lunch all over the steps and peeled off in his truck. OP posted another update 2 days later. We broke up. As a lot of the comments said, it wasn't really about the sock anymore. Maybe I'll never know what happened while I was away, but the violence in his response was frightening. I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel unsafe in my home. It wasn't the first time I'd seen him that angry, but it was the first time he'd acted out physically. I don't want to be involved if it escalates further. He's been taking some of his stuff while I've been out of the house, and one of our dogs, which has probably been the most upsetting part. And I've been changing the lock code each time. I have some friends nearby I've explained everything to. They've told me I can always contact them if I feel unsafe. Thank you to everyone who offered advice, shared your experiences, or showed concern for my safety. There will be a lot of changes in my life because of this, but I know it's for the best. It's wild how something small, like a sock out of place, can end up shaking the whole foundation of a relationship. Sometimes, it's not just about the possibility of cheating, but about the anger it reveals underneath. The kind that makes you question who you're really with. This next story taps into that same feeling, where what starts as doubt slowly turns into something you can't ignore anymore. Let's get into it. I think I, 37-year-old male, need to divorce my wife, 36-year-old female, but I don't want to. I'm 90% sure she's cheating on me. When we got married, her history of cheating was a point of discussion. She said it was in the past and due to circumstances that weren't present in our relationship. She swore it would never happen with us. 3 years ago, we moved from the East Coast, where both our families live within a 2-hour drive, to the West Coast. The reason? I'm in a management program with a promotion track to become an executive in my company. As part of that, I needed to work in a division that only exists on the West Coast for 3 to 5 years. After that, we'd be able to move back to New York City with a big promotion and a $50,000 to $100,000 raise. We struggled to make friends. About 3 months ago, she made a new friend, a colleague of mine, though in a different department. Ever since she met this woman, there have been red flags everywhere. Even though we've invited the woman and her wife out for dinner and group activities, the two of them will only hang out one-on-one, or with the wife included, but never as couples. She recently bought sexy new underwear and started wearing makeup again, but only when going to work events where this woman will be, and spouses are invited, or when she's heading to bars or clubs with her. About a month ago, we were at a work function, and my wife got extremely drunk. She was making sexual innuendos in every conversation. When I said we should head home, we'd been drinking for 6 hours at that point. She got upset and told me I can't tell her what to do. Said she's an independent woman who makes her own choices. I left and went home alone. She walked in the front door at 8 a.m. the next morning. She said after the function, she went to my colleague's house for more drinks and talked all night. A week later, I ran into the colleague and thanked her for taking care of my wife and making sure she got a cab home. She said they'd been up talking all night, then quickly got nervous and changed the subject. I talked to my wife and told her behavior reminded me of a previous girlfriend who cheated on me. I wasn't accusing her, just said it had triggered some anxiety. She got defensive and acted like I had accused her outright. Since that conversation, if there were red flags before, now it's like she bought out the red flag store. Her phone is never more than 3 feet away. Parcels from lingerie stores keep arriving, but she never shows me the lingerie or wears it around me. And yet she's showering me with even more affection than before. She's being more sexually adventurous in bed. I'm 95% sure she's cheating. The other 5%? It feels like she's trying to. I've contacted a lawyer and a psychologist to help me figure out how to have the conversations I need to have with her. I still love her. I really don't want this relationship to end. But she's chosen secrecy and other people over me. And I don't see a future where I can trust her again. OP posted an update 2 years later. I suspected my 39-year-old male, now ex-wife, 38-year-old female, was cheating on me. I was right. We are now divorced. As it turns out, she had been cheating for a while, even before the move. The move just made it more obvious to me because we were spending much more time together. She was in fact having an affair with the wife of the colleague, and also with the colleague. But neither of them knew about the affair with the other. They're now divorced too. She'd been having affairs with other people long before, and even though she's told everyone that we broke up because she realized she is gay, she had also been sleeping with men. The straw that broke the camel's back was a call while she was back east visiting family. She said she had met someone and wasn't coming back. What I know now is that met someone meant she had met them online and made up a trip with her sister, who is on an amateur sports team with the affair partner, to see her more. I've since heard from people she knows that she only ended our relationship because she caught herpes from that affair partner, and her cheating would have become obvious if she came home. We're now divorced. After a few rocky relationships, I've reconnected with a woman I first dated when we were teenagers. We have a dog and will be moving in together within the next few months with plans to start a family. I couldn't update until now while the legal process was ongoing, but happy to answer questions. Let's dive into some of the comments. First comment. I guess the saying is true, once a cheater, always a cheater, no matter how convincingly they say they'll change. OP replies, yep. I actually spoke with the ex before me, and he's a really nice guy. Turns out it was the exact same scenario, minus the STD. Just took longer for me to find out. When she gets bored with her life, she blows it up and starts a new persona. And when she's bored and feeling lonely, she cheats. Second comment. What did she tell you when you discovered all her affairs? Did she try to fix things with you or just let you go? OP replies, no, denied doing anything wrong, said it wasn't cheating. Follow-up comment, so sneaking around and lying wasn't cheating because she was just being true to her own nature? Or did she deny all of the affairs except the final one? OP replies, it's next-level denial, which is apparently common with cheaters. To admit they cheated is to admit they're the bad guy in the scenario, and they never want to be the bad guy. Looking back, it's honestly kind of heartbreaking how many red flags OP saw and just kept pushing past. Sometimes we ignore what's right in front of us, not because we don't see it, but because we don't want to lose something that matters to us. We hold on, hoping we're wrong. Have you ever been in a situation like that? Where you kept hoping things would get better, even though all the signs were telling you otherwise? Let me know in the comments. I always appreciate hearing your stories. Let's get into the next one. I, 22-year-old female, mistakenly accused my boyfriend, 22-year-old male, of cheating on me. He says he wants to break up. We've been in a relationship for 2 years. Never had any real problems until now. He started a new job about 4 months ago and is being mentored by a senior female employee. She calls him after work hours to make sure things are on schedule and to inform him of his responsibilities for the next day. I was okay with it, until one night she called him around bedtime and asked if he could pick her up in the morning because of car trouble. I found that unnecessary and told him not to do it. He said it was just for one day and did pick her up. That night, I argued with him and told him I was uncomfortable with her calling him outside of work. He rejected that, saying it was only about work, and that since she's mentoring him, he couldn't just ask her to stop calling. This continued for some time, but the breaking point came yesterday. A friend called me around noon and told me she saw my boyfriend eating lunch at a restaurant with another woman. She described the woman, and I was sure it was his mentor. Even though I was almost sure it was innocent, when he got home, I exploded. I screamed at him and accused him of cheating on me with her. I shouted over him for a good 30 minutes. When I finally calmed down, he looked livid. Then he showed me a photo on his phone. It was a selfie of him and several colleagues at lunch. He and the mentor were just sitting at a smaller table next to the extended group table. I apologized a lot. He said he didn't feel comfortable being with someone who gets insecure over him working with a woman. This morning, he told me he needed space and went to his friend's house. He's not taking my calls anymore. I want to go over there and talk to him. How can I convince him that I know I went overboard with my reaction? TLDR, mistakenly accused my boyfriend of cheating with a colleague. Now he wants to break up. Update. Sorry for not replying to the comments. I was distraught. The opinions are understandably against me. Reading through them, I realize I might have borderline personality disorder, still to be diagnosed. I'm planning to go to therapy and counseling. I sent him a message saying this, and that he can take as much time as he needs. I also said I would completely understand if he wants to break up. As for why I screamed at him even though I didn't truly believe he was cheating, I don't know. In that moment, I couldn't control myself. All the irritation I had felt over time about her spending so much time with him just came out. You can really feel that spiral, when irritation builds up quietly over time, and then explodes in a moment you can't take back. Have you ever let fear or insecurity get the best of you in a relationship? Maybe ignored some boundaries or jumped to conclusions? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. And if you got something out of this video, a like or a subscribe really helps me keep making more of these. Thanks for being here.